Hey guys, today we are going to recap a Chinese romance drama film, Better Days, released in the year 2019. The movie begins in the Yaohong College Entrance Exam Remedial Center, where students study for the college entrance exams while some pass out from exhaustion. Among the students are the timid Chen Yan and her friend Hu Xiaodie. While Chen Yan is caught up in studying, she suddenly is faced with one of the biggest tragedies in her life. Her only friend, Xiaodie, has just committed suicide by jumping off the building. While other students are taking pictures and theorizing the reason, Nian covers her dead body and waits for the ambulance to arrive. After being questioned by the police, she remembers all the instances in which Xiaodie had been bullied. However, she refuses to speak about it. Now, she's facing the same treatment from the bullies who used to torment her friend. As if her life isn't hard enough. At the review center, she also has problems at home because of creditors who go to her house to demand payment for debts. One night, on her way home, she stumbles upon a group of thugs beating up Liu Beishan, or Xiaobei. When the situation worsens, she tries to call the police, but the thugs drag her into the mess. To humiliate both of them, the thugs order her to kiss the beaten-up thug. Xiaobei retaliates and beats up one of the thugs, leaving Nian alone in the streets. One day, Xiaobei meets her to return the money the thugs had stolen from her and brings her damaged phone to a repair shop, where he repairs it himself. Chen Nian's bullies get progressively worse each day. Aside from physically bullying her, they also spread rumors about her and her family, ruining her reputation and making her the center of attention in the review center. One day, she calls Xiaobei for an escape. He takes her to his house where the two of them hang out and hear each other's stories. After getting confused with her reasons to hang out with him, Xiaobei tries to scare her by pinning her to the wall. The next day, Nian manages to stand up against her bullies. However, it results in her being pushed down the stairs with injuries. This was her last straw. She reports her bullies, specifically Wei Lai. This alerts the authorities, who start interviewing the bullies to see if they are the ones behind Xiaodie's suicide. Wei Lai insists that they had nothing to do with the suicide and that it was probably the pressure getting to her. However, this interrogation ticks off the police, especially this one officer, Zheng Ye, who wants to get to the bottom of this school bullying case. He suspends the bullies and humiliates their parents at school. However, they can still take the college entrance exam since their school insists on giving them second chances, especially Wei Lai, because of her reputation as the perfect girl. Despite this disappointment, she continues to go to school to dedicate herself to studying to get into a good college and give her mother and herself a better life. However, her bullies continue to torment her, when one day they ambush her on her way home and are waiting for her with box cutters and cages of rats. She manages to outrun them, but she has nowhere else to go when they decide to go to her house. She has no other choice but to stay at Xiaobei's house and spend the night. Despite their previous bad encounter, the two feel strangely drawn to each other. She even asks for his protection until she finishes taking her college entrance exams, to which he agrees in exchange for one favor. Bei follows her everywhere at a safe distance. He even threatens Wei Lai, which relieves her of the bullying at school. After this agreement, the two get progressively closer. They are each other's comfort zones, and both of them learn to enjoy their lives again, despite the awful circumstances. However, unknown to Chen Yan, Xiaobei is going through some troubles of his own. Even if he finds himself getting close to Nian and sharing his past with her, he doesn't want to involve her in his present mess because her safety and peace of mind are his utmost priorities. One day, Xiaobei gets caught by the local authorities and is detained at the police station as one of the possible suspects in an ongoing case. Because of this, for the first time in months that Chen Yan doesn't have anyone to protect her. Because of this, Wei Lai and the rest of her group take the opportunity to get to her. As their revenge, they cut her hair, ruin her things, strip her uniform, and beat her up, all while filming her with a camera. Once he's released, Xiaobei immediately looks for her, only to see her beaten up in the street, bleeding and patching up her assignments. This makes him furious, but Nian stops him from taking an act of revenge on Wei Lai, as she already knows how powerful she is. Both of them are devastated because of how cruel their lives are to them. That night, Xiaobei shaves both Nian's and his hair. The day of the exams finally arrives. While the students are in their examination sites for their first day, an operator unearths a corpse at a construction site, and the police identify it as Wei Lai. After the initial investigation, they discover the video taken on the day Chen Yan was bullied by Wei Lai's group. They immediately summon Chen Yan as the prime suspect because this gives her a motive. Zhang Ye asks her why she never reported this, and Chen Yan only answers that she wants to focus on her exams. The authorities take her in for questioning, and even if she has a motive, they don't have any conclusive evidence validating that she killed Wei Lai. While Zhang Ye believes she's innocent, his colleagues assert that she might have done it with an accomplice. Because of her anxiety, Chen Yan had a hard time giving her exam, but she manages to finish on time. While on her way home, Xiaobei pulls her and runs away. It turns out that she's under surveillance, and the two officers are tailing her. Xiaobei takes her to an abandoned building, instructs her to shout, and makes up a story that he stalked and harassed her. He also plans to take the blame for Wei Lai's death, since there's evidence at the crime scene pointing to him as the suspect. Chen Yan refuses and almost turns herself in, but Xiaobei pins her to the ground and strips her clothes, saying that he won't get a harsh sentence since he's a minor, to convince her. She finally agrees, and the two of them kiss for a brief moment. When the police break in, he starts to act like he's beating her up. The two of them share one last look before he gets arrested and detained by the police. Xiaobei had already planned this when he attacked someone in the park, so someone can identify him as a serial rapist and easily link him to Wei Lai's death. Xiaobei killed her and erased anything that would make Chen Yan his accomplice. While Chen Yan is being escorted home, a flashback plays of the night that she was bullied. Wei Lai begs her and even offers her money and the opportunity to get even, as long as Chen Yan would not report her to the police. Fed up with her, she just asks Wei Lai to never appear before her again. Wei Lai continues to follow Chen Yan and attempts to make small talk until Chen Yan couldn't hold in her anger any longer. She pushes her down the stairs in anger, instantly killing Wei Lai. That night, she confesses her crime to Xiaobei, who takes care of the body. After hearing testimonies that Xiaobei is not stalking her, but instead protecting Chen Yan, the police get more confused about whether she is the victim or an accomplice. Despite that, Chen Yan remains to be the prime suspect, and both of them are questioned. The police do everything to break through their story and alibi. However, they decide to stick with their story that Xiaobei acted on the crime on his own, and the two of them don't know each other. Knowing that Chen Yan would never be able to live with the guilt, Zhang Ye devises a plan to break their defenses so he could help them both. While Chen Yan is checking her high scores in the exam, Zhang Ye visits her again to tell her that Xiaobei received capital punishment due to the severity of his crimes. Chen Yan couldn't believe it since he was a minor, but Zhang Ye tells her that he lied. And in fact, he's an adult, so he will get full punishment. Chen Yan finally lashes out and confesses to her part in the crime. Chen Yan visits Xiaobei in the prison, and the two of them smile at each other. With Zhang Ye's help and Nian's admission of guilt, the two of them receive light punishment. The movie time skips to the future when Chen Yan is a teacher and is consoling her student, who seems distressed. Xiaobei is walking behind them, smiling and at peace, knowing that they're finally free from their miserable lives. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more movie recaps. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.